person is special. Each and every one of us is unique in the eyes of our Lord.
Then why are we all taught the same?
Hello everyone. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos and things keep piling up, but today I wanted to talk about an article, Charter Schools Lose Their Way. And before we can actually talk about charter schools, I wanted to talk of some of the educational choices that parents and I guess teachers for their careers and such have in the way of educating students. Then get a little bit more specific on what charter schools are before getting into the article. So let's start with those choices.
A good resource to find out the answers to these questions are noodle.com/articles/public-private charter magnet. What's the difference? This article was published on noodle.com June 4th, 2012. Public schools are local schools funded by taxes that people in the town's neighborhoods pay and are administered by local school boards. They tend to focus on a set of curriculum in order to provide basic instruction to all students. Because they are locally funded, public schools can vary in quality depending on district. The majority of American students, 88%, attend local public schools.
Now, I went to public school and my parents chose the neighborhood that I grew up in based on the success rate of the public schools I would attend. Recently, I received a paper in the mail at their address talking about support South Windsor Public Schools.org. And this is to vote today, Tuesday, March 21st, about phase 2 of fixing up the schools. And obviously, it has to do with tax dollars, so it's a voting issue. So that's just one part of the public school issue.
Charter schools receive public money, but function as autonomous public schools in exchange for being held accountable for their results. While they're not exempt from state and/or federal educational standards, they allow teachers and administrators increased flexibility and control over the methods and culture of the school. The rules, structure, and charter authorization for charter schools are established by the state government and vary from state to state. The charter usually lasts 3 to 5 years. In order to keep their charter, the schools are accountable to their founders and achievement goals, or their charter can be revoked. Charters can be managed and/or funded by a variety of parties, from for-profit corporations to institutes of higher learning to nonprofits to charter management corporations such as Edison Learning or the National Heritage Academies.
To learn more about Edison Learning, visit edisonlearning.com. I absolutely love this video from the student's perspective on National Heritage Association's website. Visit them to learn more.
Magnet schools are public schools that focus on particular subjects, vocational or curriculum. Some are set up by districts and only enroll students from the district or city, while others may be set up by state governments and enroll students from all over the state. Most concentrate on a particular area of academic study or vocation, such as science, the fine and performing arts, agriculture, or mechanics. Admissions at some magnet schools is very competitive, requiring an entrance exam, interview, or audition. They use a lottery system when students apply.
My 13-year-old went to a magnet elementary school. Their focus was STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These are the way of the future, and that is what that magnet school believed. I think this is a great source for the school, but the reason that he left the school was due to bullying, and they really needed to focus their other efforts towards ending that, even though I believe bullying is in all schools, which is why in October I choose to make at least one video per year about bullying and any new information I can get out to you.
Private schools can be religious schools. The majority of private schools in the U.S. are operated by religious affiliations or organizations. Most religious schools charge tuition, and some may have requirements for prospective students relating to a particular synagogue, parish, or religion, while some schools are limited to members of a certain faith and include religious instruction in the curriculum.
She was born into a time when the world of study belonged only to men. Her desire to learn was so great
Forgive me, Papa.
that to satisfy herself inside, she pretended to be a man outside.
There's yeshiva or Catholic parochial schools not required to follow government regulations. There are also private prep schools, which is short for preparatory college work, and are funded by tuition fees and philanthropic donations, and are overseen by a board of trustees, much like a college. Traditionally found on the Northeast, prep schools may be day or boarding schools, or have both day and boarding options. They're generally known for challenging academics and selective admission processes, and tend to send students on to elite colleges.
The truth about him.
Why wouldn't St. Luke's have taken him?
They wouldn't have enrolled a Jew.
A Jew?
Not even for a championship.
You people are very determined, aren't you?
Sometimes we have to be. You guys were my friends. I didn't want to be told that I couldn't be a part of it because I was a Jew.
But are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
I wonder how meek they'll be when they do, sir.
Then there's the independent alternative private schools, which again have tuition fees, donations, or endowments, thus allowing freedom in terms of instructional style, accountability, and curriculum.
One school type that I did not reference in reading that website was Montessori Schools. These schools were designed by Maria Montessori and characterized by an emphasis on independence and individual freedoms within limits and respect for a child's natural, psychological, physical, and social development. I really like the manipulatives that they use not only in mathematics, but in the rest of their educational planning. If we can get back to the article and the reason that I wanted to discuss school choice, we have charter schools lose their way. Now, I don't know about you, but I liked the idea of a charter school, getting funding from all over, not just from taxes, so they can potentially be on an even playing field with people who have higher taxes, more readily available tax dollars to pay for books, resources, technology, teachers, vacations, trips, etc. But I don't like the idea that the people who are funding them can choose their own path that they want the education to take, because you never have knowledgeable people having control over your students in your educational planning. The author of this article, Anne Dishow, PhD, is a board chair in the Side-by-Side Charter School in Norwalk and professor in the Quinnipiac University School of Education. I absolutely love the way in which she writes this article because while it touches about the politics of the Trump administration, it really focuses on what the goals of the charter school were and what is happening to it. So she writes that the dream of opening the school was to be big on innovation and small on red tape. They didn't seek to grow larger, build bigger, or become a franchise. They never wanted to promulgate tidy panacea for solving educational problems, but they wanted to use research-based and promote student success. And the next part I'm going to quote word for word because I loved it so much. She writes, "We are a haven for students who, through disenfranchised economically and socially, are taught to understand their important role in a democracy, to question structural inequalities, and to develop the writing, reading, speaking, and critical thinking skills that all schools should provide." And I think that this is something that Abraham Lincoln wanted when he first talked about opening public schools for what we as educators call FAPE, free, appropriate public education. I hope this article has given you a little bit to think about, and I hope that you take the time to read it. I will be posting it on my Google Plus page. Links will be in the description of this video. If you want to seek to help the school out, remember the name is Side Charter School in Norwalk, Connecticut. Thank you, and please subscribe to my channel.